Hello, guys. How are you today? I am really intrigued by the amount of people who have been reaching out to me, asking me what it is to lead, asking me what it is to embody the leadership of a person who actually doesn't care if people come with you or not, who actually doesn't care whether people are throwing roses at you or maybe they're just giving you hate. What does it mean to lead from the future? And I call this specific video leading from the future because way too many of us think that in order for us to actually move and take action, we like it's so good to imagine that people are walking with us, we're holding hands and we're supporting each other and we're like, come on, let's go. I know you. I can see you. Go for it. Keep talking about it. Like it's like a nice fantasy to have. And to build a world where we think that if our friends and family move, then we have the permission to move. If they lead, we have the permission to lead. So let me tell you a story. Let me tell you a story of how I actually convinced myself that leading, walking alone was a lot better than walking or hoping and waiting for people to walk with me, to walk the path with me. So, a long time ago, I lived in a different city and I had, friends with me who were like on the same like frequency, like on the same journey of like how can we be better? How can we be love? It's all about love. Let's learn to love each other. Let's learn to do this. Let's learn to be better human beings. Compassion and kindness and respect and it's okay if they shout at you. You don't shout back, blah blah blah. And this was like more than 5 years ago. Now, I take a look back at myself. 2020, maybe 2018. And I see like incredibly smart, compassionate, like very capable people. I'm talking about these like people that I used to hang out with. And back then let's I remember I used to think like let's do it together, let's build this together, let's build a partnership, you and I can do it. And then with time I realized that these people had big dreams, but they never kind of like understood how to actually build that dream into the 3D and through the reality. And so back to the beginning of the story, when I was waiting for these people to move with me and to support me and to love me and like send me their like I'm here, I'm with you, I see you, I'm going to your class, it's your first time recording a class for blah blah blah, so I'm gonna be there, I'm gonna show you my support. When I wished that these people were beside me in order for me to actually become the leader that I wanted to be, I actually started to doubt myself. I started to wait for people's timing. I was like, no, he's not doing it. She's not doing it. So I'm not going to do it either because I don't feel safe. And back then, I used to think, what is these blah, blah, blah going to think about me? And I was also like too self conscious about the way I looked in front of the camera. And I was so self conscious about the way I spoke in front of the camera. And so I would use just about anything as an excuse. Now, when I realized that these people were not going to move, Now we're talking. Now, what are you going to do? The ball is in your court. And so I asked myself, like, is it really worth it for me to wait for these people? Like, I love them. They know me. They're like family. I know them. But does it really make sense that I wait for them to move with me? Is it really worth it that I wait until they wake up so that I can actually start my movement, which is all about awakening, business, spirituality, mastery, mindset, psychic abilities, speaking in front of the camera, developing your acting skills. When I realized that these people were not going to move, I faced a very harsh reality. And that was, I understood that I had to walk the path alone. Not to push people, not to reject people, not because I don't like people, because sometimes you have to take the reins of your life and you just have to move, whether you like it or not. And that's the difference in between people who dream of a better world but they don't do anything in the real world in order to build that world, and people who dream of a better world and so they say, let's insert some logic into the emotion, into the dream. Okay, if I want to change people's lives, if I want everyone to know the knowledge that I know, what do I need to do? Correct. I need to speak in front of the camera. You're right. I need to learn how to introduce myself. You're right. I need to learn how to promote myself. Even more important, I need to learn what it is to believe in me wholeheartedly, 100%. Not 10% on a Monday, not 50% on a Saturday night, not 35% on a Wednesday night, wholeheartedly. And so that is the reality of things. I hear way too many people fantasizing about big dreams, but they don't move in the real world. And so, what are you doing if you're not moving in the real world? It is fantastic to have your psychic abilities, your connection with God and the universe and the Arturian Pleiadians, whatever it is that you connect to. Understand that you have to bring your resources down to planet Earth if you want to help people build a community. If you truly want to help people, master your communication skills. And if you're mastering your communication skills, you better have a platform where people can actually go, click, and say, I want to listen to you. Maybe out of the 10 billion people that we have on this planet, maybe 5 people are actually interested in what you have to say. But because you're more interested in dreaming and self-sabotaging yourself, nobody knows who you are. Nobody knows that you have a YouTube channel. Nobody knows that you have a TikTok. Nobody knows that you have an IG Instagram account. Nobody knows that you have a Facebook where you do lives every week. Nobody knows. Nobody knows your essence. Nobody knows your truth. Nobody knows your heart. Nobody knows your vision. Nobody knows your personality. Nobody knows your entertaining. Nobody knows your show. Nobody knows anything about you. And so if you actually want to help people, you have to start leading from the future. So Let's go into the future. Think from the future and not just think. Again, the title of this video is Leading from the Future. You want to be the leader, that person that everyone wants to follow, everyone wants to walk with. You have to expand your vision. You can't just think like too small. Here, my mom, my dad, my uncle, my aunt, my best friend. Planet Earth, just here. Expand yourself. Dare to reach other people's lives. When I first started recording my videos, I was so ashamed that I was talking to myself all of the time. But something inside of me felt so effing right. And that was the fuel to continue despite despite everything, despite the likes, despite the comments, despite the hate. People ask me like, how do you do, like, how do you motivate yourself? It's not motivation. Motivation comes and goes. Motivation comes and like and talks to you for a little bit and it's like, oh, isn't this fun? And then like sadness comes and it's like, oh my god, what am I gonna do? Nobody's listening to me. Like, do not rely on your like emotions. And this is coming from a highly emotional person. If you know about astrology, I am a moon in Cancer. My emotions are like black and white in less than in 2.5 seconds. I don't rely on emotions. I rely on the future. Consistency. If in the future I actually see myself that I'm changing lives, starting with mine, and I am touching thousands and millions of people, dare to dream big, and I am touching thousands and millions of people, what do I have to do today that is going to get me closer to that? Real life example. Number one, have an account, introduce yourself until you get sick of it, make videos until you feel like you're talking to yourself, master your self-worth until you dare to speak like who you truly are in front of the camera. Repeat, 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 repeat. Some of you are just wishing so much in the ethereal world, in the angelic world, in the spiritual world, but you're not taking action on earth. When you start leading from the future, you have a sense of urgency. You know you're not going to have this vitality forever. You know you might not be like attractive forever. You know you might not have the sense to talk to people and say, this is what you need to do forever. When I go to the gym and I look at like older people and they move so slow and they like, I can see the way they admire a younger person. And I can see how they get lost and they're like, for a second, I feel like they're remembering about their younger years. And I'm like, when I witness that, I like, this is like a real moment of like breaking out of the illusion, unplugging myself from the matrix. And I stopped thinking, oh, I have to work on my legs, my abs. Like, I don't think about that anymore. I'm like, one day I'm going to be his age, her age. I I better give everything I have right now. I acknowledge that. I thank the person for that, for showing me for showing me the reality of things. And I go back into my routine. And when I leave the gym, I actually walk like I am the queen, the royalty, the goddess of goddesses. Like I exude truth. It's not even confidence. I know that one day I'm going to disappear. And so I walk in this body with purpose. I walk leaving that door knowing that when I get home, I have a message to share that you need to hear, because you need to move, because you need to wake up, because you need to start being you. And so this video is going to do that for you. But I wouldn't be able to do this if I didn't have this vision coming from the future. Otherwise, I would sit over here saying, "Hey guys, I would doubt myself, I don't even want to play that role, because it is a role. You doubting yourself, you limiting yourself, you thinking you're shy, you thinking you're too much, you thinking that your power is too big, that you're too powerful to be you, like you thinking all of that is just a role. So number one, when you think of leadership in the future, what is your role? I know for a fact that every single time that I sit in front of the camera, I am a teacher. I am here to teach something that you don't know. I am here to teach, to share the way I see the world, the way I think of business, the way I think of spirituality, the way I think of people. Every single person has a unique, different gift. Are you honoring the gift? Are you exploding the gift? Are you leveraging the gift? Every time you see the gift, like, do you actually see it like as a diamond? Like, do you care to refine that? Do you care to one day hold it in your hands and see, wow, this is my masterpiece, this is what I did? Not just to feel good, but to actually help for a purpose, for the world, for people, for community, for freedom, for abundance, for life, for money. And it goes above and beyond the material. So, I've already talked about this, but in 2025 and beyond, the thing that needs to be traded is you. People who think that the 9 to 5, people who think that the work that you have, you might be already independent, but you don't love what you're doing, you don't love it, it ain't gonna work. It will crumble. And the people who feel like victims are going to think, oh my God, the world is against me. Why is this always happening to me? I have the worst luck. But the people who are centered and the people who dream and also work on the earth know. All of you guys can freak out. All of you guys can start talking about whatever. All of you guys can waste your breath. I focus on building the reality I want. Therefore, I have to be diligent with my creation, with videos, with scripts, with posts, all of the things that you know you need to do. I need to be diligent with my energy. I need to be diligent with my spirit. I need to be diligent with my body, because that matters. I need to be diligent with my image, because that matters. You see how the future is actually pulling you. Like, when you see the future, it's impossible for you to get lost. And I can tell you for certain, when I was lost, so lost back in the days, I had no clue what my future looked like, who I was in the future, nothing. I was only looking at my life, at my present, through the lenses of the past. So every single time I wanted to do something, like, hey, my brain would, like, my spirit would say, like, hey, like, wouldn't it be better if, like, if we just start recording ourselves and talk about, the messages that you get, the things that you think that are effing great. Why not? And the lenses of the past would say, well, but it says right here that you're not worth it. And it says right here that nobody should listen to you. So, no, you're not recording anything. You're not putting yourself anywhere. No, you're just, it's done. Like, there's, conversation is over. Thank you so much for trying. We'll see you next time. And I'd be like, you understand how important the vision of the future is? If you don't have a vision for the future, you'll perish. You'll have no reason to wake up in the morning, to do anything. You'll think that life is just whatever you have in front of you, whatever it is, working from 9 to 5, working from 6 a.m. to 12 a.m., like whatever it is. And you're going to buy into the story that you're just a human being, that you came here to be just like anyone else. There's nothing normal about you. And you know what I'm talking about. You know you're different. You know you have big dreams. You know there's something in there that you need to take it out of your chest. You know you have to start doing the thing you know. But do you truly know? If you actually did know, you would be doing the thing. You're not doing the thing because in reality, you still doubt yourself. Stop engaging with your past, with the thoughts of the past. Instead, invest your time in building a future. Imagine the future. How do you build a future? Imagine. Imagine. Get yourself comfortable. Go to a park. Talk to nature. What works for you? Maybe it's a cup of tea. Talk to your future. Connect to your future. And act upon the things that your future version is telling you to do because you have no other option. It's either you stay in the past and you perish, or you move forward and you thrive. Everyone wants to thrive. Everyone should move towards the future knowing there is a better tomorrow. So this is what leading from the future looks for me. This is the reason why, despite the comments, despite anything, I'm still doing what I like doing. I have a friend who always tells me, like, she goes, I feel like you should be getting more attention. It's not just her. Like, I have a lot of people telling me, wow, like, I can't believe you're not like popular, famous, like, your video should be getting more views and blah, blah, blah. And then at the beginning, that actually did hit my ego. And I was like, you're right, but I don't. It's not happening for me. And then I was like, number one, this is but the beginning. Number two, sadly, there's not a lot of people who are actually interested in mastering the foundations for creating a reality that they deserve. It takes time for them to really, really understand that if they want to change their lives, they actually have to get to work. They have to be diligent. They have to be smarter. It takes time for people. And as I'm talking about this right now, like I'm getting a visual, a picture of myself when I, like back in the days I used to listen to the same videos all the time and like telling my brain, you're going to understand this, you're going to learn how to love yourself, you're gonna memorize this information, you're gonna do it, you're gonna do it. And I know it took me years to shed and let go of an identity that all it did for me, it just made me feel small, and it made me feel like invisible, and it made me feel like I didn't matter. So coming from that reality into this reality, which is like so opposite from that, we need patience, we need time, but you also need to wake up. You need to snap your fingers and say, this is it, I'm done. Maybe I don't need to listen to the same information for 15 plus years. Maybe I don't need to do that. Maybe I can just get up and be. Maybe I can just get up and start like tell myself in front of the mirror, stop playing games. Stop it. And every single time that I go back into playing another game of the mind, I stop myself right there. No more. Tell yourself, no more. But seriously, ignite that fire within that commands over your reality and says, no more. You think I'm playing? Watch me. Watch me. I'm not playing anymore. This is your life. You either wake up from the slumber or what are you doing? What will you do? You have choices, but you don't really. You don't have a choice. You just have to wake up. You just have to move. You just have to take action. You just have to create that reality. You just have to imagine that future. You have to do that. Point, period, the end. So let's start moving from the future. Let's start leading from the future. This is all that I wanted to say. I do have a mastermind coming up on July the 8th at 11:11 EST time. And in this mastermind, I am going to show you how to actually refine your acting skills because, as I've mentioned before, we're all actors, we're all playing a role. And so in here, I'm going to show you, we're going to find out what is the role that you're actually playing and what is the role that you would like to play and how to like actually build it in real time in real life and how to start like step into that role, which it takes a lot of skill and a lot of passion and a lot of willingness to do. So if you are one of those people who feel self-conscious in front of the camera and you keep thinking that it's all about you when it isn't, and you actually want to start, you want to get your name out there, you want people to know who you are because you have way too much information to share that you're gatekeeping, you could be changing lives. So if you identify as that person, join me. You can comment and just say mastermind, right? Mastermind, and I will send you the link. This is happening July 8th at 11:11 EST time. Thank you so much for listening. It's been my pleasure. I love you, and I will see you soon.